Hello everybody, welcome to the 10th round of the Tail Racing Ring Runners in Season 10. It's time for the Nissan ZXT GTP car, classic car of course, the oldest car that we're using this season, I'm pretty sure. And it's going to be a big challenge for these drivers here this afternoon. It's myself, Ewan, and James Parfitt with you as always for this round of the championship. And it's not a car that many people own, so just the 7 of them on the grid here today. Let's have a look at how it stands going into this round though. Jason Hightower has accumulated 290 points so far this season, although he's not here today, so he will lose some of that 43-point championship lead. Dave Mull is in third, ahead of Dan Kosick by only 12 points. Then it is Corey Stas, although Stas has, of course, had a couple of races that are going to be dropped, and he's going to just ghost his way up a bit further from that. Sadler is only 1 point ahead of Dilts, then it's Dave Hernandez, who is in 8th place, and then behind him, they've had too many drop weeks to really feature. In the AM standings, it's super close between Pat Mage and Stephen Johnson. 7 points overall. If you apply one drop round, as we're starting to do now, 5 points only between them. It's a great championship fight. Tim Wacho and Anthony Solomon have both missed a few rounds, but they're still very much in the game. Steve Kube has missed 4 rounds, but he's still ahead of Dylan Hessling, who's only missed 3. As has, Christopher Herron's missed 4 as well, and that's why he's a little bit further down in the field. It's fair to say the Pro Championship is fairly well settled here this season, James, but this is a big chance for the likes of Corey Stas and Evan Cratwood especially, and Dave Mull, to all gain points, crucial points as well, on Jason Hightower, who's not here for the first time this season.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think this is going to be their moment as well. Let's not forget, in the pros at the moment, Stephen Johnson is not here either. So Pat Mage has got an opportunity. Why is that car literally sat inside the pace car? Look at that.
I hate that you can do that in iRacing, by the way. What is that all about?
I don't know, but these cars are just for a bit of fun. Have you never done it? You never done it?
No.
Oh, dude, I have.
No.
Just because I could. It's just a bit of fun, isn't it?
You probably get this car under that pace truck, actually. It's it's so low, and the pace truck's so high. You could basically get it go straight underneath there. But anyway. They always seem to have the wrong pace car for the wrong series and whatever. So this completely doesn't fit this series, but whatever. When we had the Pro 2 lights, I'm pretty sure we had that sports car Porsche, didn't we, for the pace car? So anyway, whatever. The pace car will just pull in a few moments' time. We are using the combined long layout here, but this is a really quick car, perhaps quicker than I was expecting, actually. And so this is going to be a very quick 4 laps over the course of today's race. Let's see who takes the victory, though. With Corey Stas on the pole and Evan Cratwood alongside, both of them needing big points here today to try and stay near Jason Hightower in this championship battle. Up towards the line then for Stas. He's going to keep them waiting for a while, and then he's going to go carefully on the power. You can get these cars away from you very easily, and then down on the brakes in towards turn number 1. Low-speed corners, which this car is not brilliant at, in towards the braking zone. Stas nails it that time round. That was very nicely done ahead of Evan Cratwood, and they've already got nearly a second over the rest of the field, only through the first couple of corners.
Yeah, great job from these guys. Corey Stas there getting away. He had to do it as well. Evan Cratwood trying to follow him. The interesting thing about this car, I've never noticed before, but it's actually got like almost points coming off the lights there. It's like a stabby thing on the front of the lights. Look at that. The light protectors, but they're surely more dangerous than they are doing anything else, isn't they?
I think they're just, are they not, whatever, I don't know what they're called, but the things that help for downforce on the front bumper, is that what they're for?
I don't really know, but they just look dangerous to me.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, it was the 80s, I think, this car was running in, or 90s maybe, but yeah, that wasn't the biggest feature of their thinking when they were building cars, I don't think, at this time. So there you go. But yeah, I think.
Wow!
Wow, there was all over the place, and that's something I was going to talk about a little bit later on, but might as well mention it now. This car can very easily snap and get away from you. Very twitchy indeed. And getting all 7 to the finish is going to be quite difficult. I think we've already seen Pat Mage actually go for a spin, even just through the Grand Prix layout, actually.
We have, yes. And unfortunately for Pat, he's going to have to close back up. But these guys are going to enter into Nords for the first time. I'm going to jump on board with Corey Stas because I think this is going to be an absolute amazing run through here. We're going to keep an eye on the speed on the right-hand side. You can see they're topping north of 121. Well, he's still accelerating to 150. This is going to be absolutely bonkers on the run down into Arenberg here. How is this going to work out for Corey Stas? This car has got some pace on it, so I'm going to see what top speeds they get here.
Look at him avoiding the curbs as well, even the ones that you normally take through Hatson back there. You normally take that one as well on the right-hand side, but not touching it at all in this car. Shows how twitchy and difficult it can get. And John Amico looks like he's found that out as well. As always, we'll have a look at replays at the end of the race, but it looks like we'll be looking at him, unfortunately, at the end of that one. Almost flat out. I think he might have been flat out there, Corey Stas, but it's Crowd in the slipstream here who's getting close. 180 miles an hour for Crowd, just about. Look at this. Absolutely unbelievable speed. 185 almost. So that's going uphill on the way towards Trendencourt. Goodness knows what's going to happen when they go downhill under the bridge on the back straight, coming to the end of the first lap here in about 5 minutes' time.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be absolutely nuts. Dave Mole is in the mix here. He's got Dan Kosick in front of him. These two are quite close together. Look at the camera shake as they go past. It's insane. This era, there was just literally full... Don't worry about anything, I think. Just pace and minimal body. That was about it, I think. And these guys are absolutely handling these well. They do look fun to drive, I'm not going to lie. But I'd be interested to see what they get from the run down the dot in the hole, what sort of speeds we're looking at.
Yeah, this is so quick. And at the moment, 6 of them doing very well to even stay on the road here. It's very easy to find yourself in the wall somewhere around. I wonder whether this is the fastest car this season. I know we had the LMP2s early on, but I think this car's probably quicker than that. This is really unbelievable speed from these guys. And through now, miss on board with Dave Moore. He's putting the pressure on Dan Kosick here. Slightly contrary to what we've seen so far this season. A very fast car so far, providing us with at least a couple of battles out there on the circuit as well.
Yeah, we have. And look at Chase Petterjohn. He's sneaking up to the back of us here. And he just got the gap down to below half a second. So Chase is on a bit of a mission in that AM lead. Pat Misch is 23 back. Amico, we've lost Amico already. So we're down to 6 drivers and we haven't even got to the end of lap 1 here. And now it's all about what these guys are going to be able to get speed-wise on the run up into towards the carousel.
And this is the slightly uphill one, don't forget. So we're not going to hit the absolute top speed, I don't think, of these cars. Although Crowd is going to get a big slipstream here, even from 7 tenths back. Mull's going to get a pretty, even bigger one, actually, from just 4 tenths back at the moment. Yeah, there you go. You can see the uphill nature just dragging on this car a little bit as it only gets up to 170. But when you're in the slipstream, you can touch 180 for Dave Mull, but he's not close enough. You'd have to be, I think... well, brave is one word for it, maybe a little bit silly as well, to go for a move through the fast left-hander there that Dave Mull nearly did, but he stays behind, and Dan Kosick will keep the position just in front of him for the moment. Oh, and he goes off through the Starstrekker there, just goes a little bit deep on the brakes. Looked like he actually got stopped in time, but maybe on the power too early, I'm not sure, but he just went wide, and Kosick punished with a loss of 2 places there.
Yeah, he just went in a little bit too deep there, I think, unfortunately for Dan Kosick, and that's what's caused him a problem. That's kind of spread this gap out a little bit. Chase Petterjohn slowly losing time on Dave Moore, is coming out teetering and around that second mark. It's a second up front for Corey Stas and Evan Krautfeld as well. Evan in the old Windows 7. Looks like wallpaper livery, the machine there. That was a good old while ago. But yeah, doing a great job nevertheless here. And I think for me, I'm just excited to see what speeds we get down the Dotting Hoe, because I think this is going to be epic.
Yep, it absolutely is. Windows 7.
It is Windows 7, isn't it? Or XP, or not?
Yeah, maybe. Oh, surely not XP. That's too long ago, surely. Let's see, though. Maybe it is longer ago. No, that looks about Windows 7 era, doesn't it? Yeah, there you go. Why has he chosen that, though? That's my question.
Oh, it is XP.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Wow. Oh, wow, and he got a big, oh dear, jump over the curbs there and nearly lost it. Yeah, what? Why Windows XP? I've got no idea, but anyway, he's gone for that. We'll have to try and get some reasoning as to why he's done that. It's the only time this season he's gone for any kind of livery like that, isn't it? He's just, oh, and Chase Petterjohn has as well.
Is that the same one? Maybe that's the only option on trading paints, I don't know.
Very, very bizarre. Anyway, through through Gavenkopf, and Chase Petterjohn is closer to Mull than Krautwood is to Stas, but there is a very long straight, so they might both make passes here. Let's see here as he gets into the slipstream. Krautwood again, it's going to be touching 180 miles an hour, but he's just too far away in the slipstream here. He's actually losing speed here to Stas, and maybe that's a show of what downforce is on that car at the moment. Maybe same for Petterjohn as well, because he started the straight 4 tenths behind. Now Mull is pulling away, even while Chase Petterjohn has got some slipstream.
Yeah, that's just nuts. You can see 180 there from Stas, 173 from Krautfield. Dave Moles topping the 180 mark. Chase Petterjohn 175. So 6 miles an hour difference. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what downforce does for you on your setup.
Yep. It's the age-old question of whether you want it through the corners or whether you want to be able to make the passes on the straights. And it looks like the two drivers who are in behind in our two battles have gone for the cornering speed. So in that case, how is Evan Krautwood and Chase Petterjohn going to actually find their way through here? Can't help but feel that that's going to be very, very difficult for them now. Based on the run we've just seen, bit of a lock up there for Petterjohn, and on the exit he slides and spins. Now he's got a very big lead in the AM class, and so he'll be okay to keep it. But goodness me, that is it. Oh, and another one. He gets to the power on the way towards turn 2, tries to anyway. And he spins again. He's very lucky that Pat Mace is so far behind him.
Yep. Lucky boy. I think he's got away with that one because there's not very often you would do a couple of spins. Is he going to... Oh, I thought he was going to go again then. For Chase Petterjohn, he's now just got to cool that tyre down on that car because he has just roasted him with the 2 spins. Basically, the 2 incidents that we've seen, the only one we didn't see is John and Miko, so we'll have a look back at that at the end. But that was the only other incident here from Chase Petterjohn. Stas now, this is where Krautfield's coming at him with that corner speed. But again, once he gets out on the run down at Arenberg, it's going to be done for pace. The run up to Carousel is going to be finished. And by the looks of it, the Dottinger Ho as well. So he's got to try and get him in the corners of Nords. And that's not always going to be easy.
Yeah. So there's nothing shown for Pat Mish because he's a long way behind at the moment. And I know he's just pitted, but he must have damage or something.
Yeah, he did go off track.
Pitted.
Yeah, he went off track. So it's Pat and John, the only 2 things we've really not looked at.
Okay. Well, that's early for Pat Moose to be using his fast repair, isn't it, here? Because he's got a pretty big chance here today as well. Stephen Johnson isn't here today, and so this round is going to become a drop round. So far, he's dropping a 17-point score, an 18-point score, and a 20-point score. He'll have to take that 20 points now. 20 points is only what you get for 11th place. So even if Pat Moose finishes last, and last at the moment is going to be 6th place at the very least, that in itself is 25 points for Pat Mace, and that's before any bonuses that he will get for finishing in the top 3 in the AM class as well. So what's that going to be? At least 5 points of an advantage here for Pat Mace. He's got to get to the end here of this race and finish in 2nd, and stay around to see if he can actually get past Petterjohn here, because there'll be 2 points worth it in that if he can get it, and that could be a big championship lead, 10 points or so going into the final 2 rounds of this championship, one of which is Duckwick, of course, on the final round of the season.
Yeah, I think he's got to try and carry on here for Pat. I think he's got to just make sure that he's just trying to get some points here. If it's a drop week, it's a drop week, but something's better than nothing, especially you want to take advantage of a low field count, right? You need to make sure that you are in and around with this low field, so you've got to make sure that you're trying to maximize it here as well. That's why I'm surprised John Amico didn't go back to pit lane and come back out again. He was out, but Pat, he's just got to make sure that he just carries on here, because at the moment his lowest score is 18, I think it is, which will be the LMP3, which will be his drop week.
Yep. That's the way it's working at the moment. This is, of course, all starting to shake out now, because we're getting towards the end of the season. 3 drop weeks we've returned to this season, by the way, in season 10, because we've got the full amount of rounds remaining. Yeah, I mean, John Amico, I think, has just not been enjoying this car by the looks of things, and he's decided to pull into pit lane immediately. He's already missed 4 rounds of this season. He's not going to be a feature for this championship, but there you go. He is already out of the race. Pat Moose, by the way, with a PlayStation 2 livery. I don't know what it is about the year 2004 that everybody's having liveries to, but at the moment, Windows XP, PlayStation 2, dear me.
Throwbacks.
What's all going on here?
Throwback livery on a throwback machine. So there we go. Dave Mole's just got
Krautwoud
in the wall.
is off. In the wall out of Exmuller. They must have got on the power a little bit too. We've seen him have some really big snaps coming out of some of the corners, and he looks like finally one of those snaps has got away from him here.
Yeah, absolutely. Unfortunately for him. So, yeah, that's spread the field out with 2 laps to go.
Very much has. And that is going to be a big opportunity to Corey Stas. Starts the day, if you apply just one drop week, 64 points behind Jason Hightower. And at the moment, Hightower is going to get a 3rd place finish, effectively added to his score because of the drop weeks. Well, that's his worst. Third worst score at the moment. That's going to begin to count, or is it? Yes. I don't know actually, but anyway, it's not going to be many points that Corey Stas gains. Put it that way, he's still going to be around 60 points behind also, and that is pretty damaging, unfortunately, for Corey Stas. I find it hard to believe that we're even going to have a title on the line actually, even at Duck Week when you can't drop that score. I think Hightower might well be more than 30 points ahead.
I think Hightower has, with the fact he's taken 5, 6, 7 wins and a 3rd place, and his highest drop is 25. I think Hightower probably has already wrapped this one up. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't get this job done before Duck Week, of course. Don't forget, next week we've got coming up, they are in the TCRs, so I'll be interested to see whether or not people come back for the TCRs, and if Hightower does come back, will he continue on his winning streak? That is the question.
Absolutely. We've seen a record-breaking season this time around. Absolutely. And would you believe it? We're going to get a 3rd race winner of the season as well, by the way. Only 2 race winners so far in the whole of the season. To put it into context, we've already had 9 rounds. So, yeah, this is going to be a record-breaking day, because it's unlikely Evan Crowther is going to win from there. And obviously Hightower isn't going to. It's going to be Stas, Mull or Kosick, I would say. They're the only ones who have not had problems. Chase Petterjohn is now back to pit lane, so Pat Mish is leading, and he's in 4th place as well. That's going to be very decent points as well, if he can get them here at the end of the race. Just kind of depends when Evan Crowther and Chase Petterjohn actually come out the pit lane, because Mish is a further minute and a half behind Kosick, who's just going on to the back straight right now.
Yeah, I got a funny feeling Chase Petterjohn used his fast repair. Oh, no. Oh, no. He's just had some form of drama. I'd say...
Oh, looks okay.
Yeah, Chase might not come out because he's been in pit lane once, used his fast repair, come back out and crashed again. Hence he's still in pit lane. So... he's crashed once, and then he's come back out, and then he's been off track, and he's caused himself another drama, and he jumped straight back into pit lane. So whether or not there was more than what we've seen here at the moment is a different matter. That car is not okay. Look at the front on it. He scraped something in that car. So we'll have a look back and see what Pat got himself up to.
Yeah, and Pat used his fast repair as well, don't forget. So that would be a full repair if he needs it, but he looks like he's going okay at the moment. The car seems to be behaving fine, so he just needs to carry on. I mean, you can start to see why most people didn't bother with this race, to be honest. I mean, it's so difficult to keep this car under control at any circuit, and especially at the most difficult circuit that iRacing actually has on the combined long layout. It's a very fast car, as I mentioned, and the lap times are very quick, but the difficulty for all these drivers is very obvious here, as we've been watching. Mace has just got to keep it on the road from here, but even that is going to be very difficult.
Yeah, I know. I completely 100% agree with you. I think it is going to be very difficult for these guys to try and do that, but you've got to make the most of the opportunity. There is a massive opportunity presented to all of these guys at the moment, and they have to take it. Your points haul from here is going to be bigger than probably some of the ones that you've had all season, especially Pat Mish finishing, where is he at the moment, who's being 4th place, and the points he's going to get from that would be 27. So this is his highest points haul of the season. So for him, he's got to carry on regardless.
Yeah, that's before bonuses, by the way. That's 27 points from just finishing position before you get any bonuses. So, yeah, he's finished 5th in the past in the Pro 2 Lights, finished 5th overall in those, but 4th overall would be a big result here. And at the very least, he would score 4 bonuses for winning the race and getting to the end as well, running at the finish. So it's almost a given that everybody gets 1 bonus point, by the way, but the 3 is going to be for the AM win, so he's going to score in totality about 30 at least, and that is going to be a big advantage over Stephen Johnson. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, because there's still a long way to go, and you can't take anything for granted in this car. Corey Stas, though, is looking very comfortable, 13 seconds in front of the field. For a driver with clearly not a lot of downforce on that car, he's been looking very comfortable so far.
Yeah, he's obviously got it balanced, doesn't he? I think at this moment in time, you can see him. He's going to be on the brakes here. Do you know what? He does brake very late. I am surprised they brake so late going in now. I thought they would have been lifting as soon as they come over the crest, but he does seem to brake quite late, and I'm guessing this car's a little bit easier to get stopped than what we're giving it credit for. But I think from Stas, he seems comfortable. The car's not really twitching massively. You know, he's got the rotation he wants coming out of the wheel and down to the front wheels. So maybe whatever setup, it might be more balanced than it is high or low downforce. So yeah, fair play to him. He looks comfortable in it.
I don't know whether this is, I just googled the weight of this car. Just as you were saying that. Because then I realised I don't actually know what's heavy for a race car and what isn't. But it's 1.5. What is that? 1.5 tons, 1,500 kilograms.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. So yeah, that's how much it weighs. I don't know if that's particularly light for these for a car, to be honest, or whether it's
probably lighter than your road car.
You think?
Yeah. What? Let me. Hold on. I will find out what my car weighs.
Okay. I say I've got absolutely no idea what cars should weigh or shouldn't weigh.
Yeah, my car 1,825 kilos.
Well, I guess it depends what kind of car you have, but
well, yeah, it's between 1,470 to 1,800. So you know, yeah, obviously from that. So yeah. What car have you
got? It's a hatchback. What's it called?
I don't know, make a model?
I can't remember what it's called.
Oh my God, you don't know what your car is?
No, because as much as I'm interested in sim racing, I've not got very much interest in real life of road cars, to be honest with you. I like.
Is it?
Yeah.
Seat, Vauxhall, Ford.
It's just a. Oh no, it's a Skoda make, but I don't know what the model is. I mean.
Right.
Yeah. It's a hatchback thing. So there you go. But yes, it's yeah. Oh dear, who's spun through the carousel? I don't know if we saw that. There's a load of tyre marks there through that section. But anyway, Chase Petterjohn and Ewan Croughton, meanwhile, are back out onto the circuit. Again, they're a long way apart. They're not going to race each other particularly, but they're still in the race. And unfortunately for Ewan Croughton, this is a big opportunity gone missing here. He's going to score 26 points for his finish, but because of Hightower's great results so far, he's actually going to lose points to Hightower because of what results he's been having so far. That's the kind of season it's been, and unfortunately for Croughton, he's going to be even further behind at the end of this race.
Oh, Dan Kosick.
Wow.
Just
another one.
Yeah. Misha's moving up even further.
Yeah, third now. That's the first podium for an AM driver this season, if he can keep it, because so far only 2 drivers have managed to do this whole race without needing to take their fast repair at some point.
Yeah. It's been a battle of survival, isn't it? I think that's the thing. Dan Kosick's also jumped back to pit lane as well. So that's a long old toe from where he is. Amico is...
Amico's back.
Yeah. Is he back? Is he out? No?
He's back out, yeah. Oh, there's more 2004, by the way.
Yeah, Marlboro livery. Lovely. Love that one. It's very bizarre to come out on the final lap. I'm not quite sure what the purpose is on that. But there we go. Corey Stas doing a thing.
Well, it's not going to be a final lap for John Amico. If he carries on, he'll do 2 more laps here, and he will get a bonus point for finishing at least. But doing 2 laps, so yeah, that won't particularly matter for his season. But Corey Stas now brings himself towards the end of another lap, and we'll see what the lap time is. So far, he's got the best lap, 7:24.9. That was nearly 5 seconds quicker than Dave Mull, who's in second place. And you'd imagine something similar is going to be on the cards here again. See whether he sets another fastest lap, though, or indeed whether these cars need to make a fuel stop at some point in the day. No, they don't. I do wonder, because of these old cars, whether they're a bit more thirsty. But no, you get the white flag. Stas goes over the line. Not quite as quick this time, 26.8. But even if Mull improves, he'll need to go nearly 3 seconds quicker to have a faster lap time than Corey Stas there. And so he is in control here, Corey Stas, by some margin.
Yeah, he's just got to get the car to the end. It's been very quiet all the way round. I think John's still running. Chase is still out there. Evan's still out there racking up points. Pat's still going. And Dave Mull still there as well. But we've got a very spread out field for this round.
We have. I mean, we were talking about it before. We are not surprised to see that, really, considering the sort of season that we've had, and in terms of faster cars, certainly more difficult cars, gets a lot more spread out, a lot more easily. So I'm not particularly surprised, to be honest, that we've seen this, and you know, it's not a car that very many people own or very many people drive. It's only, of course, especially if you'd joined iRacing after 2017-18 when it was released for the first time. I can't quite remember when it was, but it was around that time when these cars were released, along with the Audi 90, which is a GT car that was racing around the same time as this car. It's got the most unbelievable amount of understeer you've ever experienced. And if you weren't around at that time, then I don't think you would have bought these cars, because there was a lot of excitement around them at the time. But unfortunately, it's not really been raced very often since then.
No, it hasn't. I don't really know what to say, because no, it hasn't, has it? When did it go into legacy status? I presume it went in there before I even joined it.
I think it's always been I don't think it'll ever go into legacy status, because it's just sort of a classic car that's sort of going to be kept up to date. But it's just a classic car.
But is it in a series?
It's in Camel GT series, so it would be this car along with the Audi 90 multi-class. I'm not sure whether it still runs, but that's what it used to be anyway.
Oh, okay. I'll have a look.
Doesn't Legacy suggest that it doesn't have any official series?
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so this would have gone. Yeah, this will have gone straight into not Legacy, even though it's not used anymore in real life. And I guess it will remain there forever as well, because it's not going to be updated. This is just an era in time that it's just history, and so there's nothing more to add, really.
There's no Camel series?
No, not anymore.
No. So has it gone... I'm going to have a look. Has it gone Legacy then? It must have. What's it called? Nissan, isn't it? Hold on.
Oh, it might be called so I've just googled it. I think it's called IMSA Vintage Series now. It used to be called Camel GT, Camel with a K. I don't know what it means, but yes, I think it's changed its name to IMSA Vintage Series now.
Is it
Audi
IMSA?
90 and Nissan GTP?
Oh, okay. Hold on then. IMSA Vintage.
Yeah.
It's very dramatic, but okay.
Well, it is IMSA Vintage. It's accurate.
Oh, it is, yeah. IMSA Vintage Series. Yeah. Yeah, they are.
Well,
It's still there, but nobody's racing in it.
Yeah, it's low participation, very much so, which is a shame. But you know, at the time, I remember at the time, it's 2017 or so, a lot of excitement around these two cars when they joined for the first time. But of course, this was back a long time in iRacing. I'm not sure there was day-night transitions even yet. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't go out and buy this car, or the Audi 90, because there'd be no point if I can't race it anywhere.
Exactly. That's the problem, really. As I mentioned, if you were around in 2018, 17, you would have bought it at the time, no question. But because it was a good new car to have, and it was very high participation series, by the way, when it first came out. But if you joined iRacing in 2019 or so, you wouldn't really have it, or after. And of course, even 2019 was 6 years ago. Scarily, you just wouldn't buy it now. So yeah, it's a bit of a shame because they are good cars. It's a really good challenge, this car, especially the Nissan ZXT GTP. But as we've shown here today, very, very difficult, and only 2 drivers have gotten away without having any damage so far.
Well, apparently the session's up in like 29 minutes and there's nobody registered for it.
That's plenty of time.
Not really. Can't see it happening.
29 minutes?
Apparently so. Apparently there's one going live shortly. By what
That's
I can
ages.
see. All right, well, I'll keep an eye on it for you, just in case something miraculously happens and people register for the session. There we go. 2 o'clock apparently goes off and nobody's registered so far.
Well, obviously nobody's going to know that listening to this because it won't be 2 o'clock when they're hearing this. But yeah, it's yeah. You can only sign up less than half an hour from the start anyway, so there's plenty of time yet. But no, it is a low participation series, unfortunately. I'm not sure whether there are any sort of leagues that run this car anymore, but I imagine there is a group, a community somewhere out there that races these cars. And of course, it is an iRacing special event. I think still these days, the Road America 500, which is an iRacing special event that goes on in April. So this car can still be used around in iRacing. And that event, by the way, the Road America 500, that is pretty well attended across the board in iRacing.
Okay, well, let's see what goes on. I don't know. It's just not a car I'd buy, to be honest. Or I don't drive enough. Maybe I just can't justify buying it. Maybe possibly what it might be. Being that I'm tight, of course.
It's understandable not to take this car, but there you go. If you've got it and you can master it, as we've seen, then Corey, as we've seen here from Corey Stas, then you can certainly take a big advantage. And there's going to be some big points on the offer for Corey Stas as well. At least 35, you'd say. Although he did start the day 88 behind Jason Hightower. I think unless he does win these final 3 rounds of the season, including this one here today, then he's not going to be in with a shout at this championship, even though those chances are very, very slim anyway. Corey Stas now brings himself down the back straight. He's been absolutely imperious so far. 3.8 seconds, by the way, quicker than Dave Muller on the last lap, and it's going to be pretty much same again here. Over 20 seconds is winning margin, the most one of the most spread out fields we've seen all season long. Corey Stas now come through the final corners, and he will take the checkered flag after 4 laps. It's going to be victory for Corey Stas in the Nissan ZXT, and a dominant victory from him as well. Likes to flag victory. Bit of pressure early on from Evan Crowder, but a victory in the end are pretty comfortable. Over 20 seconds back to Dave Mull, who's going to finish in 2nd place. And he will end up taking his chances there with Hightower not here. He will stay close in the championship, and he should move up to 2nd place now. Yeah,
it should be by the end of it, but I think we'll find out how he gets on. I think he's just a little bit short of 2nd, with Krautfeld still out on the track. Pat Misch is there, going to be coming across the line in 3rd, and Dan Kosick, Evan Krautfeld, and Chase Petterjohn with John Amico back in pit lane.
Yeah, John Amico unfortunately having another incident. Chase Petterjohn has also got very much of an incident. You can tell. I don't think this car has the new damage model even now, because look at that rear wing. Dear me.
Smashed up a tree. And whatever he's done it properly. Chase, I think this whole replay run through we could do in a minute is literally just all Chase Petterjohn.
It might well be. Yeah, we'll just see Pat Mays come over the line before we get to the results. But this is a pretty big point for Pat Mays. He is going to be, as long as he gets to the line 2 minutes after Dave Mull, he is going to score 28 points from his finishing position. First AM driver to get on the podium this season. He's going to score at least 3 points for the AM win and a point for getting to the end as well. It's at least 32 points, whereas Stephen Johnson is going to score 20 And that championship margin all of a sudden is going to go to well over 10 points now, and that's a big bit for Stephen Johnson to catch up to. And there goes Petterjohn having another slide.
Live on camera.
I caught one this time.
Yeah, we did. It's tough because you never quite know where they're going to come from, do you? Let's be real. You'd have to flick through the cars like this to try and make sure that they're all still running.
Oh, and Petterjohn is indeed sliding again.
Oh, we did.
Yep, there he is.
In the wall.
That might be what Krautwerd did, actually. But we'll find out in a little bit when we go through the replays. Here's Pat Mej coming towards the line. He's going to round out the podium. Not sure there's been a podium finisher that's finished nearly 2.5 minutes after the winner yet this season, but we're going to have one now. Pat Mej comes through the final corner and takes a big leap forward in the AM Championship by taking the victory in the Nissan ZXT. This was a dominant performance. Despite taking his fast repair after lap number 1, he persevered through the last 3 laps, and I was very fearful for him, I've got to say, after just 1 lap. To use his fast repair already, I thought he was definitely going to drop away because of that, and he was going to crash again and be forced to take on some long damage, is what we've seen from some of the others. But he didn't have to in the end, and he's taken the AM victory.
Yeah, we did, and did a great job there as well. We could bring you up the results of this one with the 7 runners and riders.
Yep, Corey Stas wins ahead of Dave Mull, and then Pat Mej in third. Dan Kosick just under a minute behind him. Beat Seven Krautwerd to the line, though, ahead of Chase Petterjohn and John Amico. Eventually did get 2 laps in, at least, at the end of that race. And we're about to see some of his incidents in the next few moments.
Yeah, this is what he did. Right at the beginning. Lap 1. Oh, curb, bang.
Right on.
So that put him straight back in pit lane as well. This is one of Chase Petterjohn's many that he's had. I think this is just going down into turn 1. It looks like he's gone and rotated the machine. This is the one we watched live, I believe, of him doing multiple turns on that one. So we'll go to Evan Krautfeld, because this is Krautfeld sent him back to the pits.
Curb, and smacks the wall hard as well. He realised immediately that that car wasn't going to go any further. Front bumper eventually comes off, and that was the end of that for Evan Krautfeld, I'm afraid. He dropped down to the back end of the field after that. This is Chase Petterjohn, who's in the same livery, which is not particularly helpful. Is this the spin he had on the last lap, maybe?
No, this is just coming out of pit lane.
Oh, no. Oh, wow. Front left tyre completely comes off as well there, and it's not moving anymore.
No, he'd been in pit lane at this point. So it was basically fast repair after that. Now, I did say Pat had looked very slow at one point, and this is why. So he's going to pop out and spin that, isn't he? Yep. There's the tyre marks you were talking about.
Yes, yeah. Thinking that through the middle of the race, and that's how they ended up there. Through the banking for Pat Mej, but that was one of the only problems he had, really. Still not entirely sure why he used his fast repair. This is Dan Kosick. Oh, that's in the wall hard. Wow, that was a big hit.
Yeah, that was the one we said we caught just the end of.
Hold on. I've never seen that before in iRacing. Look at that.
He's only got 3 wheels on his wagon.
Tyres racing down the hill. That's a big hit, though. And you can see why the tyre. Look at that. I've never seen that before.
And I can't even follow the tyre.
No. Well, it probably despawns as he toads, to be fair.
Pretty well smashed up on that one. But that sent Dan back to pit lane. And then the last couple, unfortunately, Chase, you were responsible for them.
Over the final few corners. Tiergarten. Oh, slides, and that's how he got his rear end damage.
Yep. And that one. The other one was John Amico, who said ended up back in pit lane. Wow. Does his front end look damaged, or is that just me already?
No, it does. He's certainly been in the wall somewhere, front on. Yeah, looks like that's after his incident we saw earlier on when he went straight on at Hassenbach.
But this is after his pit exit, by the way, just to let you know as well. But that's it. Yeah. That's all of it from now.
Well, that was the Nissan ZXT. I mean, never going to be a particularly high participation round, as we were talking about throughout the race. And Corey Stas took advantage of that one in the end, but certainly a round we expected, that's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. I think people didn't own the car, didn't want to go and buy the car. I wouldn't buy it, to be fair, either. It's still nearly $12. So for a car you're never going to drive again, nah, I'm all good, thank you. So there we go. That's probably why.
Absolutely. Well, that's it for the Nissan ZXT. We'll be back next time out with the TCRs, which will be a lot of fun. That will be much closer racing, I would expect, and that is the final round that you can drop as well before the end of the season. So we will see how that goes. For now, though, from myself and Lear and James Parfitt, it's goodbye from the North side. We'll see you next time out in the TCR class. Goodbye for now.